Right, I'm going to try a game of 10-minute rapid. Trying to lower my rating deviation here, so 1910, good luck, just to get a more established rating. Now, we've not played before, there's no head-to-head score. 3,500 games for my opponent in rapid, so much more experienced than I am in this. Whereas I've only played, what, 40 odd games, something like that? 47. So I'm just going to try and develop, get castled. Okay, that's one of his centre pawns gone. Bring a knight up. Pawn into the middle if he takes, otherwise we'll just try and get forward. Just develop and castle, keep it simple. So d4. Let's go e3. Probably bishop to d3. Okay, here first. I'll probably take with a pawn if he takes, but I don't think he will. He doesn't. So I'm going up to d3 and I'm just going to castle. With it being a rapid game, even if he castles, I don't think the Greek gift idea is going to be realistic, or not yet anyway. I'd have to probably push a pawn further up. Now that tells me he might want to go queenside here. Doesn't mean he will though. I'm still going to castle kingside. If he castles now, it might actually be playable. He might be trying to tempt me into it, of course. Okay, has pushed forward, but now knight takes here I think is feasible. Has he just blundered a piece there? Because I hit the queen and I hit the bishop as well. So has he just blundered the game? If he takes back, I take here, and that's... He's going to get something here, isn't he, actually? He's still got his pawn push. Yeah, he might be fine, because he's going to get a pawn push. But he won't be able to castle. Might have rook across, so we're going to get activity. So take, and then rook across to hit the queen and bishop, I think. He's going to hit this here. So bishop up's a move, knight up's a move. Bishop take is a move. Rook across is a move, but there's no direct threat to capture just yet, I don't think. So if I come rook across, that's my candidate move. Where does the queen go? Where does the queen go? I'm assuming you would go somewhere like this. Bishop in. If knight takes, pawn takes, there's still an attack on the queen. But I can't unpin both pieces, so which pawn do I want? I'm looking at going knight forward. If he takes, probably not the best for me. Okay, I'm going to develop a rook then. I could play knight back and collect here and collect one pawn and leave an isolated pawn. I was also looking at going here to trade off and push forward. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick to that. I know there's a pawn hanging. I'm just trying to get a little bit of activity here. But I think he's actually fine. I think he's fine here. Although, which one? Now I'm going to drop back and collect the pawn and redeploy the knight. I think he'll take the bishop, otherwise he's got a problem castling. But we are a pawn up. We could take back with the rook and then get tempo hitting the pawn. Obviously, if the queen gets across, then bishop down is a threat. I think I should take with the rook, actually, because there's no obvious advantage to having the knight on c5. At least here there's a temporary threat. Queen across and bishop down is obviously a threat from my opponent. So, I mean, I could move the king across. He has castled. So I could just grab the pawn. I don't see why I shouldn't. So I'm going to do it. Queen guards the knight. The rook can come back on a dark square. So now we're 2 pawns up. One of them's obviously protected and is a pass pawn. Okay, so my rook can't go back to c5. It wants to be on this dangerous diagonal. So rook across. See, that's what he's looking at, the diagonal. So how do we do this? Queen up actually initially might be a move, even though it walks into a diagonal. I'll just trade the queen, so he'll have to move his queen. Yeah, queen f3. Depending on where the queen goes, I'll then shift my rook somewhere. I think queen f3 is a move, so I'm going to do it. I'd be very happy if he took. Even if I end up losing a pawn back, I'm still better. And the queen's off the board. Depending on where the queen goes, I might play a move like rook across. As long as I can play queen g3, I can guard the immediate threat to the g2 pawn. Oh, he has taken. Then I think I can just play across and potentially guard the pawn. Not easy though, not easy. My rooks could become very passive. So that's what he's gone for. So I'm going to try and guard it at least for a move or two. We might not be able to, but we're still going to be a pawn up. I've got rook to c1 if he plays across. Okay, well now I can potentially push the pawns. But obviously this is going to be a move, so should I? f4, g6, rook across, bishop down, and my knight is loose. So f4, g6, and they're all covered. I've only got one square to go to. He's got bishop down, but I do have rook back. Not easy, but it's playable. But I could actually just simply play e4 instead. E4 with a view to playing d5 I think looks better. I'm going to go e4 because I've got an option to come here as well as here. Bishop here I can drop back, guard the knight, break the pin. I've just got to then shift the other rook. And obviously I'll try and play pawn to d5 as well. So I'm going to stick to that plan and go here and try and push this pawn. He can easily, of course, try and blast away at my pawn, so I could easily lose 3 of them and end up a pawn down. Instead of being 2 pawns up, it could very easily happen. He's doing the right thing using some time here, coming up with a plan. Yeah, he has indeed gone forward there. But I think my idea is to let him take. Rook across now at least breaks the pin. Knight forward might become a potential move. But I think rook across so that I can take back. And the rook's on a dark square now, getting ready for the bishop to come across. So if takes, I'm going to take back with the pawn. Oh, he's actually gone across with the rook. Okay. So now I've got a pawn forward again. I can maybe play a move like rook across into the middle now. Break that pin. I can still play d5. D5 restricts my rook a bit. So we've got options though. Rook across is a move threatening to trade, but he's going to get this c-file. But I don't want him to just take and then grab a pawn. So I'm also looking at d5, simply advancing. It looks sensible to me. I'm going to do it. I'm more likely to try and drop the rook back this way, so I'm just going to push the pawn. Ideally, I'd like to get the king forward as well, but right now, obviously, I don't have the option. But I'm still preparing rook back to guard the knight and break the pin if he comes across. Or rook back to go to c3. Otherwise, maybe shift the knight somewhere. Not sure if that's feasible just yet, but let's see. That rook across, challenging for that c-file. So now I think I probably need to come back. Then if he plays rook down, I've got a move like knight across. I'm very close to being able to push this pawn up as well. Right now I don't think I can. So I'm going to drop back, so if this comes, there's no longer an attack on two pieces. If rook down, maybe I can just come across, or I can play rook to c1. Obviously there is a potential take here though, so got to be careful. He has indeed played that. I don't know what's wrong with this rook across mind, having said that. He could try going here, I guess. Knight across gets the knight active though. But the knight right now guards this pawn and this pawn. But can I just start pushing here? I'm wondering what's wrong with that. Right now I don't think it quite works, but that idea. So knight across hit the rook. If he goes here. Maybe I just come across to the open file, but that feels wrong. King across. I'm going to do it. I cover the bishop coming in, so king across might be a move with rook up. Otherwise I'm directly hitting the rook if he comes here. King across and here, and this pin is covered. Or I could bring the rook across here and just start marching the pawn, just sack the b pawn. So let's just see what he does here. He has gone for it, so I think I can play king across with a view to here. If check, I just step up here. So I'm going to do it. I don't want to burn all my clock. If he kicks the knight, I can maybe go forward, and then I've not committed to pushing forward, so I can still maybe push the king up. Yeah, a5, knight c6, and the rook's hitting the b pawn as well. Not easy, not easy. Let's just clear them arrows. If takes here, I'm going to take back. I guess that's a safe pre-move, but I'm pretty sure he won't do that. I've got to be careful of a move like bishop takes at some point, though, if he can break through, if he gets a double attack, if both rooks are on the file, for instance. Very easy to miss any tactic in chess. But he has gone for it. Okay, so I'm going to go forward. If checks, I just simply step my king up. And then I'm hitting the b pawn. Okay, I can't get to his rook, but it's not particularly doing much either on its own. And I can maybe start marching the king up the board. Or I hope I can. Obviously now he's got this weakness to work on. He might have to push a pawn again. Might be a perfectly good move, mine, but I think I've got a3. This knight, gotta just watch it doesn't get trapped. Let's go a3. I can't go there or there or there. I could go here, actually grab a pawn now. Why did I not just do that? If he plays a4, I can just play rook to b4, though it looks fine. Then that reinforces the knight coming down. I had knight takes pawn, didn't I? Played that a little bit quickly, but I'm up on the clock. Got to play the clock as well as the position. Rook across would obviously blunder a tactic there with a knight's check. If pawn down, I think rook b4, and it's just really solid that side. A knight to d4 can come back to a nice safe square. So let's just let my opponent make their move. He has indeed done that. So I think rook b4. I don't need to think any more about that one. I think I just play knight back now. Then I'm hitting the b5 pawn. Okay, get the arrow off the board so I can't accidentally pre-move anything. It's now pushed forward, so it restricts my king's ability to get forward, but possibly at the expense of the pawn pushing. Rook across, he can grab a pawn, but then I can just push my pawn. A little bit risky though. I think I should just play it back and hit the pawn with a view to going forward to hit this pawn. As long as my king's basically safe, I think it's fine. He's got to try and get his other rook active, doesn't he, and try and get in. But if as soon as he tries it, I think I can just start pushing my pawn up the board. Oh, he's gone there to guard his pawn. So now I've got knight up to hit this one, and you can't defend it, I don't think. So I'm just going to do that. Hit the pawn. You don't have this. You don't have rook across. He has to try a move like rook over to come in. But I've stopped the bishop coming across, so I've got a move like rook to f1. And it looks very, very safe. And just clear them arrows. We're getting very low on time now, so we've done pretty well this game. Grab the pawn. The knight can come back and go to d4. Actually, I've got rook up now as well to challenge that rook. To challenge that annoying rook, I can go here and he might have to concede ground. Then I think we can just literally start marching up. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now can I do this? I've got to watch out for this move, so I'm just going to solidify here initially. But he's out of time now. Again, pawn up threatens check. This is guarded by my knight, so I think now's the time to push. Rook across, we're threatening all sorts. I think that's a very nicely controlled game. No idea what the accuracy will be, but very good game.